Hi, let's talk about the third eye and clairvoyance. Clairvoyance is the ability to see energy information, images that can be both realistic, actually seeing a specific loved one per se on the other side, exactly how they looked when they were physical, or clairvoyance can come in as symbolic. We can see, for instance, an image of a rainbow, and that might signify happiness, joy, or abundance. Uh, Clairvoyance is connected to our third eye. The third eye is a portal. It's part of our psychic senses. One of the interesting things about the third eye is that along with it being energetic, spiritual, it's also more physical in some ways too. Not that we have an actual physical third eye, obviously, we don't, but we do have a center, a portal of energy through the physical body, and it is in the forehead, and that is the sixth chakra, that higher chakra, and it acts somewhat like our physical eyes. Our physical eyes obviously can see the third dimension. We can see our environment, each other, whatever that might be. You know, our physical eyes work in the physical world. However, we do all have a eye, we'll call it, that can see energy, that is a portal for energy, and that can include um, energy that emanates here in the physical world. And it can also include energy that source is spirit, divine energy, higher vibrations. As an example, um, the images or what we pick up here on a more physical level, we'll say a vibration, may be things that are coming into our life, or people coming into our life. Uh, we use a lot of that vibration when we do psychic readings, because that vibration, that level of energy through the third eye can give us insight into a lot of the things that we deal with on a daily basis. We can see perhaps our own future. We can see maybe, an advancement, see ourselves in a new job, see a loved one coming into our life, be able to actually see what they look like, or maybe not. Maybe we just get a sense of it, but we have a visual in some ways of being with somebody and being happy, or even being married, having a wedding, or a new child coming in. I mean, there's so many ways that we use that third eye, clairvoyant vision, when we want to access information about ourselves in the physical world, but we also use it to receive higher vibration energy too, to receive higher visions of light, visions of truth, that ability to see angels, divine beings, to see light. When we see light, that's coming in through the third eye area either. Now, the third eye can open spontaneously. Sometimes the third eye, um, when it first opens, it will, well, let me give you for instance here. I had a um, client who was concerned because she started to see light. She started to see white light um, during or after meditations, or, sometimes she would just spontaneously see light. And it wasn't her physical eyes. She was fine in that way. And that's a for instance of the third eye opening. A lot of the times when the third eye begins to spontaneously on its own open, we may see white light. That's again seeing high vibration light. Or what's really common is to see purple, indigo, that kind of shade of energy. primarily that's because the third eye is located in the sixth chakra, and that's the vibrational color of that sixth chakra. It's very common in my classes for people to start to see color, purple again, indigo especially. Sometimes it is white light, sometimes it's gold light, but primarily it's more in the purplish range. We might also see sparkles of light. We might see orbs. We might see things that look more shimmering to us. That's also an indication that that third eye area is opening. And as it begins to open, it increases in, what we start to see. Sometimes that purple light can begin to kind of morph or shift into seeing faces, images. We likely don't recognize the faces or images. That's common. And it's a funny thing because it's very perplexing to people because we see faces, images, and we have no idea who these people are. Along with that, when that third eye is opening, we might also see kind of cartoonish images too that really don't seem to make any sense. They're just kind of spontaneous, they come and go. And that's an indication of that third eye opening. In part, when it begins to open that third eye, what happens is that it begins to unblock too. And sometimes what will happen is we'll see fragments of energy. And that can be from this life, memories from our childhood, or it can be past lives. Sometimes, if there was something that we're still kind of karmically connected to, we might have a vision of a scene from maybe, a past time here in the physical world. That doesn't make sense to us. We don't know who these people are, but we might have an emotion toward it too. And that's simply that third eye cleansing and clearing out. So if that begins to happen to you, don't get alarmed or try to figure everything out or get hung up on what's the meaning, what's the meaning. Let it go. Just keep breathing, opening, and don't let it kind of get you into too much of an overthinking about it, and don't allow it to stall your progress either. Because any part of us that begins to evolve and open, there's always a process in that. And that's all that's happening is that process. Now, as I was talking earlier, sometimes that third eye spontaneously opens. And some of the activities that can bring on that opening are things like meditation. Meditation is a big one. But there's a lot of other things too. Intuitive development really opens it also. Reading spiritual books, spiritual-based books can be very opening. Listening to people, podcasts or videos or whatever it might be, talking about the third eye or about psychic development or opening or spirituality. Being outdoors, being in nature can kind of help that to open. Things like art, creativity, dance, chanting, music. When we're ready to open, it opens. And those are the things that get us into that more spiritual center within ourselves as we become more aware that we are energy and that our energy is the basis of all of life, that everything that we see physical is just a denser vibration of energy. It's all energy. That third eye more naturally opens. And as it opens, sometimes it can be a little disruptive. Not always. Sometimes it's very easy, natural. But sometimes it can feel a little, it depends on how quickly it opens too. If it opens slowly, it's a little bit easier to integrate and ground. And if we're familiar with the third eye, if we're familiar with intuition, working with that, it can also open more balanced. Sometimes though it comes in and opens in this incredible rush of energy. And we start to see a lot, or our dreams really increase. A lot of times that third eye area, dreams, really get rapid, or images of all different things. When I was first opening that third eye area, it spontaneously opened when I was still a teenager. And it was very disruptive for me because I had no idea what was happening. And I kept seeing things. I kept seeing scenes and dreaming a lot, and things coming to pass, things I saw. And it took me a while to kind of understand what was happening and to ground that. And some of the ways you can ground that, and grounding is a way to integrate that into the physical, integrate it into your body in a way, and into kind of that denser vibration of the physical world. And doing that can help us to use it more and to utilize it and to have more of a sense of positive connection with it. If our third eye is not grounded, we can, like I said, it can be disruptive. We can also feel dizzy. We can have some pain even, or pressure in the forehead, headaches. We can feel a little off balance about things. We can be forgetful. We can kind of like bump into things too. We're kind of getting more clumsy. So some of the ways to ground that third eye area, or the whole process here of psychic development and spiritual development, going outdoors is really helpful. Grounding, whether it's for a walk or a run, or working in the garden, or we can do things like sit outside. That's very helpful too. However, it really helps to get the body moving too. Sometimes grounding can, come through doing things with our hands, artwork, or clay, or cooking, eating really well, drinking lots of water, pure water. That's another way to ground. And a little, exercise you can do if you are working on opening that third eye would be to imagine light, kind of that white light energy up around maybe that seventh chakra, eighth chakra, um, coming in down through the third eye. And when I say that, I mean kind of allowing yourself to imagine that that third eye is like a flower opening, and it's receiving that white light. It's kind of absorbing that. And then that light, let it move down through the body into the heart, down through the spine, into the solar plexus, hip area, and then down through the soles of the feet. And then imagine that light anchoring into the earth. Yeah, so there we go, the third eye. If you're interested, I talk a bit about it, and I've got a couple exercises here in the book. You Are Psychic, which I wrote, a few years. And I think I'll do an exercise to open that third eye, that third eye area. Thanks.